Thank you very much for being here. My name is Louis-Michel Menard from SolidCAD. I'm an Architecture, Engineering, and Construction Account Manager. Today I will present you the new Autodesk Build. So today I'm going to give you a quick overview also of the new platform. We call it the ACC platform. It stands for Autodesk Construction Cloud. And today I'll use very often the ACC acronym for that end. So just want to jumpstart the presentation and talk a little bit about the agenda today. So it's going to take approximately 45 minutes or so. I want to give you a quick overview of the solution. I'll jump into the platform and showing you some of the features, but also I do have a lot of customers who are asking me what are the different differences between the old platform and the new one, what's now available, what's in it for us, and etc. So I'll try to answer all of those questions. So a few words about SolidCAD. So we do have a presence all across the country. We do have over 130 employees. We are specialized in design, manufacture, architecture, engineering, and construction. So we're there to help you with most solutions available from Autodesk. So we are a platinum partner, so the highest level of recognition from Autodesk. So we are the only one all across the country to have the platinum status. And we do offer also many other solutions all around Autodesk and other possibilities around different solutions that can help you being more productive. Also, we can help you implement those solutions. So we offer services like BIM consulting, implementation. We can help you with basic and advanced training, programming. We hear more and more about Forge, so we can help you on that end, 3D scanning, and many other things. Recently, we've been awarded, and we're really proud about that, to be named by Autodesk top service partner, not in Canada, not in North America, but worldwide. So we're really proud about that, and we're trying to do our best to offer you the best services that you can have. And also we do support our solution, so we're there to help if you have any needs or any need about help when you're using the product or having problems using it. We're there. So I'll show you where you can connect with us a little bit later in the presentation. Today I'll spend most of the time in Build, but also I just want to give you a quick overview of the other solution available under the new platform. So I'm going to talk about BIM Collaborate, Takeoff, but like I said, I'll spend most of my time inside of Build to show you what are the different benefits of using those tools in the field. So first, I'd like to talk briefly about what happened. So about 5 or 6 years ago, we had the first platform offered by Autodesk, which was called Field and Glue. And also, so those were acquisition from Autodesk, and there was also BIM 360 Team and C4R, if you prefer, collaboration for Revit. Those two products were working very fine together, but they were not connected to Field and Glue. And that's why Autodesk released approximately 3 years ago the BIM 360, they call it Next Gen, where those products were revamped, but also connected. So you did have BIM 360 Design that a lot of people know and use, Coordination, BIM 360 Docs, and also BIM 360 Build. That was a great product. However, most people find it a little bit hard to use. So that's why today you do have a new platform that integrates other technologies that Autodesk purchased approximately 2 years ago. An investment of a few $1 billion. So they did the acquisition of Assemble and also PlanGrid, and they merged those technology inside of one platform they call now Autodesk Cloud Construction, or ACC. So today I'm going to talk about Autodesk Docs, BIM Collaborate, Collaborate Pro, Build, and also Takeoff. So Docs is the same as BIM 360 Docs. Collaborate and Collaborate Pro are like BIM 360 Design and Coordinate. So previously, we were very present in a target market of architects and engineers, but now we do have a very good solution for constructor and also for building owner. Some of the changes that happened in February. So if you subscribe to an AEC collection, now you do have access to both BIM 360 Docs and Autodesk Docs. It's free of charge, it's included, and you can use it right now. And if you were a BIM 360 Design subscriber, it now includes Coordinate free of charge. Usually it used to be an optional solution. And also, if you have not noticed and not used those solutions, we do have an integration with Revit and also Navisworks. So I'll cover the features that you have with issues that will be widely used inside of the platform, but there's an integration where you create an issue inside of the platform where you can connect inside of Navisworks and connect inside of Revit. For those who are not aware, if you're using BIM 360 Design or now Collaborate Pro, it's the environment where you work on the project inside of Revit, and everything that you save is automatically published inside of the cloud and then accessible to other stakeholders or other people working on the project who do not use Revit or maybe Navisworks. The same goes with Navisworks, where you can retrieve the project and do more analysis, clash analysis, and having access to more tools than what you can get in the cloud, but those two solutions work all together. So today I'll spend most of my time talking about project management, quality, and safety. I'll cover RFIs, submittals, meetings, all the aspects of a punch list and accessibility of information in the field. Also cover doc controlling, versioning, and approval. There is inside of Build another module which is called cost management. That would take a little bit too much time today to cover because we would need at least 1 hour. We don't have that today, but stay tuned. There will be probably other seminars soon to cover this aspect. So why using docs? So docs is to avoid information in silos. So everyone are using great product. Could be emails, could be PDF, could be a tool to be able to view Revit files or use Revit file with Revit. All great tools, but they are all disconnected. So using products such as Docs will help you creating what we call a CDE, a common data environment, where all the information that you want for your project reside, and you create a structure where everyone you want to have access to the data can have access to it, can view the documentation. If it's a 2D model, if it's a 3D model, if it's a PDF, it's an Office document, you can view all of those information, and you always have access to the latest information. And one question that I do have very often is, can I control that data? Yes, you can download the information, and there's a free tool which is called a desktop connector that can help you synchronize the data to another desktop. So it could be your server or anything else. Once you have all of your data inside of that common data environment, CDE, you open the door to multiple other functionalities that help you better manage your project and also in the field do the construction of the project. And then later, when it's time to do the takeover, have the owner get access to all of that information. So we will cover some of those functionalities today. Also, there's an app. So you do have access to the PlanGrid Build field app. So previously, if you know BIM 360, there's also a BIM 360 app. But now with what I'm going to demonstrate today, that's the app that you need, available on Google Play, and the App Store. Also, there's Takeoff. We don't have enough time today to review the solution, but if you have some estimator, this is a great tool to do 2D and 3D takeoff. So if you want to use the tool to take a 2D model, 2D file, and extract all the data and do your estimation, that's a great tool for doing that. And also you can do this on a 3D model. So as people are working on the project inside of Revit, then you can do your estimation at the same time and retrieve all the information of the quantity and get the pricing of the item that you need or the right length. You can use mathematical equation to extract the data and get some report. So stay tuned, there will be another presentation soon about that. So let's jump into the presentation. And I'll go over the web. So first, I'll do a presentation over the rich client, but also I do have an iPad where I'll be able to demonstrate you the same feature that I will demonstrate inside of the rich what we call the rich client. So if you prefer inside of a web browser. So first of all, I mentioned about the information. We do have a website, SolidCAD, if you want to reach us, solidcad.ca. There's a page for the Autodesk Construction Cloud with a lot of information, all the type of services that we can offer you. We're there to help. Don't hesitate to contact us. If you need help, I mentioned about Solid Assist under services. You get support, Solid Assist tech support by email or by phone. You're going to have all the details. Don't hesitate to reach us. We're there to help. And also, today, if you have some colleague who would like to see that presentation, rest assured if they're not there, they can access it later, probably at the end of the day or tomorrow. You go on YouTube, search SolidCAD, and you'll see plenty of other videos that it's going to be probably very useful, but you'll see the video that I'm demonstrating today. So don't forget to subscribe and get a notification each time there's a new video available. So let's jump inside of the platform. Once you do have a valid subscription of the new platform, can be Doc, can be Build, can be any of the new solutions. This is the landing page where you can start in creating a project, of course, if you do have the right to do so. And you can also create templates, so you don't need to redo everything of what you're going to see today. So if you're building an hospital or if you're building a condo tower, your requirement will be different. So you want to create templates that are going to help you when you start a new project, not being forced to redo everything. If you're using BIM 360, you can have access to your BIM 360 project. So you see the little B here for BIM 360 and the new logo for the new platform, the Autodesk Cloud Construction. So let's jump into the platform. So now I'm inside of Build. So if you know BIM 360, on the top you have a blue upper section. And when it's all white, it means that it's the new platform. And I forgot to mention that a lot of people are asking is, are those previous platform will be terminated? The answer is no. So rest assured that if you do have project in BIM 360 or the previous version, no problem. Those technology are there to stay. It's because of the new technology that forced to have a separate application or platform to access the data, but something will come soon, probably in the next few months, where if you do have a project in BIM 360 and you want to migrate those projects inside of the new platform, you'll be able to do that. But however, now you just decide, do I want to start in BIM 360 or I start inside of the new ACC platform? It's up to you to do that. But I can tell you, if you want to use the new Build platform, this is the place to go because it's very easy to use and you'll see there's a lot of very rich features. Before I start talking about the interface, I just want to go back inside of some of the other tools that are widely used when you want to collaborate around a new project. So you do have Docs that I mentioned is available for free if you do have an AEC collection, but you also have Design Collaboration, which used to be called BIM 360 Design. I want to spend a little bit of time here to explain you what is the process, because usually when you do have a new construction site, it's going to start with the professional who will work all together inside of the environment, where, especially with the pandemic, it could be from their different offices, but could be also from different locations, like at home or going back to the office. So when people are using BIM 360 Design, they work mainly inside of Revit, but you do have what we call the timelines here. So it's not a race of who's going to win and going to be on the right first, but this is where you do have your team. So in this example, we do have a structure team, a mechanical team, interior and architecture team. So all the dots that you see there are packages that has been delivered to the other participant inside of the project. So let's say I'm the manager of the structure team. I do have 10 people who are working for me. So I'm ready to release information to the 3 other teams. So when I do that, you see a field dot. And then as a BIM manager of the whole project, when I see notification of those new packages, it's my duty to look at those packages and review them and accept those to be released to all the others. So just want to focus here on the architecture side. So you do have a few dots. So when it's not filled, it means that it has not been accepted yet, or because I do have another one on the right, it has not been accepted, and this one has been accepted. And then you release this one for production and ready and available inside of the platform when you see a square. So in this example, I want to show you this dot where, again, let's say I'm the BIM manager. I want to explore it. I want to see what was the latest changes that has been done on the model. So before accepting, I ask, show me the different changes, and then I can review those changes. So I just want to remove those and show you what has been added. So you can see in green what has been added, what has been removed. So I don't want to spend too much time on if it's good or not, but just want to show you what will be the type of work of people who will analyze this. So let's say everything is fine with me. I click reuse, and then now this information will become available inside of Doc. And then it's available to all the other stakeholders, all the other participants inside of a project. So you see that folder, which is called BIM collaboration. You recognize those 4 disciplines. So under architecture, I'll find the model that we were reviewing. So I'll be able to do multiple things, like just remove this over here. So you can take measurement, you can do a walkthrough, you can go inside and do some review. So just want to, okay, and move inside. And because I don't use Rivet, I want to have access to all the necessary information. And I can change from one level to another. So let's go to the 3rd model and walk through, and I have access to all the properties and the information of the model. I do have also comparing tool. It's going to be exactly the same tool that I just shown previously. Again, I'm not using BIM collaboration now. I'm using Doc to be able to do that. So just want to close this and also go back on the new feature available with design collaboration, which is model coordination. So a lot of people are using Navisworks right now to be able to analyze clashes, but you can do that inside of the cloud. Just want to remove one model here to simplify the view. And as people are working inside of Rivet, they are saving their data in the cloud, and automatically the system will recognize all the clashes and the potential problems. So like I mentioned earlier, it's not data rich, or you won't find all the features you have in Navisworks, but it's a good way to start and do some analysis of the clashes. So I do have 2 models compared to each other, so I can see I do have some clashes. I'm clicking on that section to request a view of all of those clashes, and they are present there, and I can select them all, or I can just select one or the other. So I just want to focus on this one. So let's say this is not a real clash. I don't really care about it, so I can say it's not an issue, but I can say, oh, there is a big problem, and I'd like to assign that issue to someone. So I click on the model at the place where I recognize an issue, and I just want to spend a little bit of time on creating an issue, because this is something that is available all across the platform, and it's going to be widely used. It could be either in the field, in any of the other modules where you want to collaborate and communicate about problems or giving tasks to some others. So in this case, again, it's a clash issue, so automatically it recognizes a coordination problem, but I can switch to another type of problem. So everything that you see under that drop list is fully configurable. I can change the name, just created the name by default, and then I assign that issue to someone inside of the project. So once I assign to this particular person, that person will receive an email or a notification throughout the system. There is a problem that needs to be solved. Then if I put more details like a due date or a start date, and put all the necessary information about the project, then, like example, the root of cause. This is again fully configurable, but as much information as rich will be the information inside of that issue, it's going to get there inside of the report, and it's going to help you recognize inside of a project who is responding to the problem or who are resolving the problem, or if they are not done on time, things like that. You can also add other references that I will review later in the presentation, like photos, files, RFI, or maybe assets. And there's an automatic picture that has been taken when I created that issues. So I wanted to take a little bit of time because I will avoid taking more time later, and you're going to understand more feature-rich item that I will explain inside of Build. So let's go back inside of Build. This is the main page, and this is for the people who use PlanGrid in the past will recognize some of the feature, because as I mentioned earlier, this is a merge between BIM 360 and PlanGrid. So if you know both platform, you will recognize some of the feature in both solution. So here is your project. You have some milestones. You can edit them. I put just percentage so you can see where you are in time. You get access to the sheets that I will demonstrate in the next few minutes. And also you do have access to your work. So as you can see, not responding very well to the issues or RFI, I'm late on them. So that helped me finding where I can have problems. Also, it can show you who are connected on their mobile device. So Ian is not up to date, so I can send him a reminder to make sure that on his mobile device, he's having the latest information. And here you have all the most recent activities, so you can see the picture that I just took with the issue. So let's go on Sheets. And on Sheets, those are the official drawing that you want to make sure that will be used in the field. You're going to have files here that we'll cover just after that, but those are the official document, and they are PDF document where people can do some annotation with the mobile device. I just want to show you some of the features that are available on the Rich client, but those are the same tools that will be available under the PlanGrid app that I will show a little bit later. So some of the features that PlanGrid user will know. So you have some tools to be able to do some markup. If you want to use some arrows or some geometry and put some links on them, put some text, cloud. Just want to show you one example. Just want to zoom here so it's going to be a little bit easier to view. And then you have a box there so you can publish or not the information. Then you modify the text. You can change the color, the font size, the border. You can change everything. And also you can add more links. So it could be related to another sheet, could be related to another file, RFI, and form. So that can be very easy when people are accessing a document, so they can have access by clicking on the drawing to other documents like a form that I will show later. Also, there's the possibility to create pictures. So if I want to, in a specific area, take a picture and just show where it is on the drawing, then I put it there, and then I can add using an existing picture in the system, or if I'm using my mobile device, adding a picture from the place where I am at that point. Just want to change the view. Also, another great tool, just want to remove this, is the compare tool that I just shown earlier in the 3D model. It's also available for a 2D drawing. So just want to compare those two drawings and show you what are the differences. So we do have two versions. We have the set 2 and the set 1. You can call them the way you want. It could be R1 or R2. But you see in red those changes that have been added to the second version of the model, of the drawing, sorry. Or in blue, you can see what changed or moved from the previous version. There's another way to look at the information. You can change this, and just want to move the bar. About that. So you have a blue line there, so you can, by moving, you just notice the curved wall here that are disappearing, and then here there's a partition or a wall that is available or disappears. So you can also pan the drawing just like that, so you can see the changes that happen inside of that document. And you can do that with the mobile device. I'll show that later. Also, when you add some other sheets, Those are PDF, but also it's gonna automatically extract all the sheets inside of one PDF. So in this example, I just uploaded one document that included those 8 sheets, and it recognized automatically the A1 and the floor plan. If it doesn't, I do have tools when I do the upload to force the system to recognize in a specific section of the drawing, and then automate the system so it will always recognize the right number of the sheet and the right name or information that I want. Here I can see that's revision 2, and here I do have a filter that helped me do a search by tag or looking at set 2 or set 1 or any other version that could be available. So now I would like to jump on into files. So this is the place where some of the BIM 360 user will recognize the platform. So you see a line over here. So it means that every folder or every folder structure available with the little construction app are folders that will sync with the mobile device. Those below will not. So look at it as those are the project documents and those are for the field document or the official document if you want. Those documents there, if you want to do the difference between sheets and files, are not documents that when you are in the field and use the mobile device, you cannot put annotation on them. So you can review them, you can review PDF, you can view, for this example, it's an Excel document, but I cannot modify it, I can review it with a mobile device. In this case, because I'm in the browser, if I edit, click edit here, I'll be able, if I do have a license of Office 365, I'll be able to modify this Excel document. And same goes with any other Office document as well. I can put a 3D model there and I'll be able to review it as well. So here's a look at the folder structure. Just want to show you the different features that you can do. So by clicking on the 3 dot, you can add another folder. You can rename, upload files, download the source, very important because people sometimes want to have access to the document and use it elsewhere. Export a file log to see all the activities that happen on those files or folders. You can also share with someone who doesn't use the platform. Create some attribute, sometimes can be very useful if you want to do some search and find something based on some attribute and tag some item to be able to be find more easier. Move folder, sort by, delete, permission. Permission is very important. So you can give access to 6 different levels of permission. So just want to show you an example. So you can go by name, just entering their email address, could be a whole organization, so every people under this XYZ company, or you can create roles. In this case, we created a role called architects. Oops, sorry about that. And then we can give them permission. So there are 6 levels of permission. I don't want to cover them all. It's going to take it too much time, but it can be from view only to control everything. So you can do that on every folder or a complete project. It's up to you. It's very flexible on that end. You can also subscribe. So you can subscribe to a specific folder or specific document. So any change that will happen, you will receive a notification. So be careful when you use that because you can receive a lot of notification. And you can also submit for review. This process is, for example, when you have a drawing and you want to make sure that a manager reviewed the information before it's released for production or released in the field. So you can use that process and ask questions, get feedback and approval, and then it's ready to go. You can also use create transmittal, where it's some sort of a zip file. So we just, you can have multiple documents from different folders and send to a specific group or specific person. So you have a log, you get traceability of the information where it goes. Another feature I just want to show you because it's brand new. It's available since the last 2 weeks with the release of Recap. Sorry about that. With the release of Recap 2022. So if you do some 3D scanning project, you can put your project over there. So in this case, I believe I have 8 different scans. So it's only the photo, of course, because if it's the point cloud, it's going to be very heavy. But still, you can take some measurement. You can put visibility or not. You can delete. You can have access to other. Just want to show you some other examples, some notes. And you have here at the bottom different possibilities like putting text, putting notes, measurement, and everything over a 3D scan. So a great feature and something that was requested a lot for helping communication between people on a different project. We went over issues, so I just want to show you all the issues that are done inside of this specific project, so you can see in what status they are. Very important to put as much information as it's possible when you create them. You can force to field some issues, but sometimes if it's not, well, you don't have all the details of what has been done or not. And you can filter here and see in which category of issues they are done or which type it is, so you can filter and having a little bit less information and drill down who are responding or not. And why it is very important is because you do have another module which is called Insight. Insight is available here and available with any subscription of the solution. It really helps the stakeholder or the project manager seeing where they do have problems. It's a machine learning system, so it's going to learn about the text included inside of the notes exchange. But also, if you do have some documentation incompleted, if you have overdue issues, you want to see them, so you'll be able to filter where the problem are. So in this case, we do have all of those issues that are, so you see 11 documents not completed, so you can review who are not doing it. You can see the date, so it can be very useful when you're following up with your project. So very important to enter the documentation, and this will be listed inside of the report also as well. Forms are something coming from PlanGrid also as well, very, very powerful. So you do have a few templates available. Just give you some example: commissioning checklist, daily quality inspection, daily report, safety inspection. I created 2 forms that will show you what are the different possibilities. So here is one created out of an existing PDF. So this one is very popular because in this case, Transport Quebec, which is a government agency, said, we like your platform, but we do have our form and there's no way we're going to use anything else. So what we've done, we use Bluebeam to automate some of the fields, so you can put some drop lists into them, or you just can simply click on it and add some text with your keyboard, and then you can click with your finger when you use, of course, the iPad or an iPhone, and do respond to the form. You have a signature at the end, just put your signature there. It's going to be there. You can have a temperature and also some other feature, and then you're good to go. Discard this model. And there's another one where you can create your form from scratch. I just want to show you a few examples there. Very easy to do. I'll say once you have spent 10 minutes trying to understand all the different possibilities, you will understand everything on how to do new forms. So when you do have a form, you assign it to someone specific. So let's say you are a manager and you have 10 people working on a site, then you want to assign them a few forms, so they will have to do that all along their day, so you can make sure that things are done or things are verified and everything. So you can have references, could be photos, issues, file, form, or asset. I will cover that a little bit later. You have the temperature that has been added automatically, and then you do have questions. So in this case, I can respond yes or no. I can put a picture if necessary, create an issue. We also already covered that. Put a note, other type of questions. So we saw it was yes, no, not applicable. So it can be true, false, not applicable. can be plus, minus, not applicable, pass, fail, not applicable. You can have an open box where you can enter information. You see the little red asterisk that forces the user to enter an information. If he doesn't, well, you cannot go, you cannot complete your form. So that could be a numeric answer only if you want. In that case, if I enter text, it says only digits are available in that field. Also, you can have a multi-select selection. You can have one or the other. Again, also with photo issues and notes, a drop list, a date picker, and I can also have a section where I want to add the equipment. For some in the field, very often it's very important that they show what was the equipment in use that day, what's available, or who was there, which subcontractor was there, and then you can have a signature. We already saw that feature. Just want to show you how easy it is to create a form just like this one. So let's create one. So you can create a template using a PDF like the first one that I just shown you, or create one from scratch. I'll use a blank one. So all you have to do is put a name, select what type of template it is, and then you will recognize what I just shown you earlier. So is it yes, no, non-applicable, or true or false, plus, minus, and you do have other possibilities. Could be a text, so you just put your cursor here, change the text, and this is the question. Can be a required field or question, sorry. Can be a number, can be a multi-select. You can have as much as you want. You just modify the text there, or the question if you would like to have a drop list. So it's going to be 5 possibilities, multi-select, just like I showed you. So, and so on. I think you got it. Very easy to do. You add other section, other subsection. Like I said, 10-minute training by yourself, and you'll be able to do that. Next, photos. So photos are recognized by PlanGrid like something very good to use. So you do have a map where, depending on the precision of the picture that you're going to take, you'll be able to see where they are, specifically if you are under a site, and they are geolocated with the precision of the mobile device that you're going to use. But also you can filter, because when you're going to do a project, you'll have a lot of pictures, and you're going to be able to filter based on who took the picture in between this date and this other date, or any other items. RFI now. So the RFI is the process to request for information. So what I've done here, I create 4 different RFIs. They're all different, but they are all the same. I just want to show you the different status. So when you create an RFI, it's in the draft mode, and then it's going to be open in review, then answered and closed. Just want to show you the settings so you will understand a little bit more. So first, you create the permissions, so the people working on the project, you determine if they are a creator, a manager, a reviewer, and etc. And you do have the workflow. You do have 2 different workflow. So you have one reviewer or multiple reviewers. In this case, let's say I'm in the field. I want to have information about something. I'm the creator. So I send a request for information to my manager, who will see, is it a legitimate or something we really need to validate? If so, that person's going to ask someone else. So it could be an architect or an engineer to review the question and provide back the information to the manager. Then the manager will confirm the information and then send it back to the creator, who will close the RFI. So you do have here a diagram that explains the process I just described. So I don't want to go over all the process again, but you can see the creator created and the creator close it because he's satisfied about the answer he's getting. So let's go back to the RFI. First, before I show you what it looks like, just want to show you how you create one. So it's very similar to the how we showed earlier the issues. So it's the same way you enter the information. So a multiple drop list. So it's gonna increment by 1 on each of the RFI that you're gonna do. You put a title, who's you going to send the request for information, if you need some co-reviewer, a due date, also location, and there's your question that you're asking. You can also provide a suggested answer, and also you can add other references if needed. Does it have a cost impact? You're not forced to enter all the information there. Once again, as much information you put in there, as rich is going to be the information in those projects. So just want to show you how it looks when you created one. So I do have my question. The percolation pit in the attachment was not in the initial drawing. Please provide clarification on the spec. Done. I submit this to the reviewer, and then start the process, and all the information that we just saw is presented over here. So again, you create a draft, then it's open and reviewed by the manager, and then answer. And then when I'm satisfied about the answer I'm getting, I approve it. So it's now closed. The official response is just over here. And then you have an activity log of everything of what happened since the beginning. So it's very important, because if there is an issue or a responsibility of a problem inside of the project, you want to know where it started, so you can really follow where is the root of the problem, or if someone didn't respond, or you told me this or you told me that. Well, this is the proof, because everyone contributed in the system. As a manager, if I'm not satisfied, I can reopen it or void it also at the same time. So that's for the RFI. Submittals now. So submittals work in a very similar way as the RFI, so I will not go as deep as I just did with the RFI, but submittal is a process where you submit information for approval. So let's say I do have a specific carpet or a specific material I would like to use, or something is no longer available, but I found something that could be compatible. Just want to make sure it's approved so we can use it. This is the process to use. So once again, you do have a little form where you enter the information, the description. You can also add documentation based. I just mentioned an example of a new carpet type. It could be pictures, could be PDF. Then the manager will accept. And in the setting, you have the permission level, but also responses. Based on the responses, you can add other responses and modify the one that already exists. So it's approved, approves as noted, for record only, revise and resubmit, rejected, blah, blah, blah. So I think you get it. Very easy to use. And also, I'll show it later in the mobile platform. You can use that also as well. Before I jump inside of the mobile device, two more things to show you: meetings and asset. So meetings, very useful. That was coming from BIM 360 Build, and also it's now available in design collaboration and also model coordination. So we do have the same meeting. You see number 1 and number 2. So I'll focus on the agenda, because the agenda has been created on the first meeting that is now in minute mode. So it's locked. I cannot modify it. So this is a meeting that we're going to have all together. And you do have here a place where you can have a Zoom meeting, or if it's team meeting, you put a date and time, and it's going to increase by sequence. If I create another one, I can see all the invite people, and I can click if they are there. So we're all together using Team or another meeting tool to share screen, and then I can have documents, and I start reviewing all the items that we need for our meeting. So as I'm putting the cursor, I'll be able to modify it. So you can see putting a cursor and modify the text. So as we speak, I change the information. I can change the order of the information. I can assign to some people, change the due date for specific activities, assign it to someone else, flag or put some other references for a file sheet, RFI, issues, photos. In fact, items that needs to be discussed inside of that meeting. So what is the progress status? Needs to review planning with engineers, blah, blah, blah. I have references. And then this one is closed. So it can be open, ongoing, and closed. So each item are reviewed inside of the meeting. You can have others. And when you come at the end, you put a summary, a meeting summary, and you create a follow-up meeting. So what it's going to do, it's going to create a minute meeting with this agenda, it's going to create another meeting, and all open, not closed item will be copy paste in the new meeting. So it's going to start that next meeting with those unresolved issue or whatever open action item that needs to be done. And then you send an invite, and also you can have the possibility to add this to calendar. So very useful, accessible with a mobile device also as well. Last thing I want to show here is the asset. So all the equipment, so I don't have a lot of equipment there, but you can create categories. You can create new asset manually, but also some people will, of course, prefer importing assets. So you could have an Excel document where you have all the information about their equipment that they want to add inside of asset. So as long as you have name, category, status, description, location, barcode, and create it, and you can also add some other custom field. Well, if they are there, they will appear here in the list. So just want to show you the barcode here because I'm going to use this. So let's say I'm in the field and I'm using my iPad and I want to scan an equipment, and I scan this equipment with the barcode. It will recognize automatically this is this asset. And I do have some references, so that could be a checklist. So it could be an installation checklist or a checklist to see if everything has been connected appropriately, a place where you can add pictures and then create issue if needed. Oops, sorry about that. And then you can change. In this case, it was delivered. Then you can change to installed or pre-startup or whatever is the right status for this equipment. So now what I would like to do, I'm gonna change screen. Just gonna change this to full screen. Hope you'll be able to see that very well. So I'm jumping now on my iPad. So you can see the same home page that we saw previously. So with all my assigned work, all my favorite sheet that I want to work on, my assigned form. So let's say I'm in the field and my manager assigned me 10 sheets to be able to do that. I'll be able to review those. Under sheets, you can see all of your drawing. I don't want to go back on the same feature that I just shown you, but you just pinch the drawing and then you can see very clearly, and you can see on the top left corner where you are in the document. Here on the right, you have the same tools that I just shown you previously. Then you have files, which are the for the fields document that we just reviewed. And one of the key aspects of PlanGrid now integrated is the rapid reviewing of PDF documents. So it's very, very quick. People really like to have access to large PDF document. Once it's there, it refreshes very, very quickly. And that makes a huge difference between different platforms. So we reviewed the form. I just want to go back to the form that we saw previously, just to show you how easy it is. So like I said, if you want to enter the information, if I'm just using my finger there to select what's the right answer to those specific questions. My apologies, it's in French. You can have a date picker, you have a signature. We saw that already, but I'm doing it on a mobile now, so it's very easy. It's very similar to what I just presented to you. The other type of form, again, you have the temperature, the weather of the day, which will be filled automatically. So same question we saw. So I'm using my fingers there. If I want to review this, enter information, and so on. So I don't want to go back again on all the details of the form. We saw that earlier, but this is how it's going to be presented to the person in the field who will need to, let's say they have 10 or 15 forms to fill all across the day. Issues that we saw, so we can review them, all the same information we just saw previously. On the more, so we do have the asset. So that's the reason why I wanted to show you the barcode. So just want to use the barcode and I'll be able to select specific barcode. And then it's going to, let's say that was the equipment, the machine I was supposed to install. And then I do have the item. We saw the menu there previously, so I just need to change in which level it needs to be based on the work I've done. I do have access to all the documentation, so if I want to have access to this documentation, that could be information to help me install the equipment. If I do have an issue, I click here. If I want to have access to a form, I can do that, but someone already submitted a form that should be used to probably confirm the proper installation. So this is how you can track all of your equipment, and when you do the handover to the new owner, they will have access to all the details of their equipment. So we reviewed the RFI, so those are the exact same example. If I want to create an RFI, that's the same thing I just went over. I don't want to do it again. And going back, you do have access to the submittal, same thing here, photos, same here if you want to have access to the map and see where those pictures have been taken. And also you can filter. In this example, I'm using tags, so let's say show me all the pictures that are 360. So I just want to click on it. And if you do have a scanned picture, it's a little bit like the recap file that I just shown. You can view it in 3D also as well with the iPad in this case. And this, again, with meeting, the same meeting we just went over. So if the meeting is live, we're not forced to use our computer. We can use the mobile device to be able to attend the meeting and respond to all the other. So this was the presentation today. I hope that you enjoyed. There is a Q&A section in the meeting. If you have any question, I'll stay online for the next few minutes. You can ask the question, I'll respond to them. And again, I hope you enjoyed. Share the video on YouTube. It's going to be available later. So thank you very much.